after a very long break, a series that was known as the TI IndyCar Series has kind of stepped away. And in comes the American Open Wheel Racing Series. It is basically a second edition of the TI IndyCar Series, and they are here tonight for a new season of racing from Belle Isle, virtually. It is the Detroit Grand Prix on iRacing. I am the captain, Chris Scallers. We welcome you in on this a Sunday evening. Even though these guys race on a Thursday, this is a race I'll go ahead and put out in advance. Was ran actually 10 days ago on Thursday of last week. Unfortunately, due to my hectic schedule and some things going on at work with outbreaks and things like that, it has kept me away from the computer a lot in the last 2 weeks. And, well, tonight, hopefully, within the next couple of days, we will be able to make up all these broadcasts that I owe to the people and have some great racing to show you. Now, normally during this season, again, I'll be joined by Gary Godso. Of course, he doesn't know when I'm broadcasting these because up until about the 11th hour, I have no clue when I'm going to broadcast these things. But it's opened up here as we have a window before our Sim 500 King Super Speedway King Series race from Talladega here in a little bit. So we're going to get this broadcast on from Detroit, 45 laps. That was ran again 10 days ago, and we appreciate you guys all joining us here on the Captain Esports Network. As you see it right there, it is virtually the Detroit Grand Prix. Now, what we will do here is talk for a second about what is going on in the series. So basically, when the series was over with, Isaac Morris stepped in because Chris Lewis, who normally runs TI Racing, has some personal stuff that he wants to go focus on. And nothing wrong with that. Isaac has stepped in. He's retired after his second straight championship and has taken over the series and has put together this well-organized series that basically he delayed a few times just to get it right. Which was cool on his part and stuff, and that's what we've done. We got multiple teams out here that are going to be racing, and I think we're going to see some pretty good racing. And let's take a look first off at the schedule that you're going to see for this series. And of course, I didn't load it up as I have it downloaded. It's going to give you the points instead. What do you know? Give me 1 second. This is, yeah, I promise. The schedule, and you get the schedule. There it is. Detroit. That's the first race here. We're going to broadcast that one tonight. Auto Club was ran this past Thursday night. We'll have that for you coming up here soon, hopefully before Thursday, as we'll get to Gateway. And then after that, 2 weeks off for the holidays, and we'll come back at Road America on for the 4th round. Of course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 5th round. Watkins Glen, the Milwaukee Mile. As you see on there, Suzuka is on the schedule. Also, Long Beach, Pocono, Barber Motorsports Park, and Sonoma. So that'll be your schedule for the rounds coming up here this season, which will end in March. So that is what we have going on. And it's going to be some good racing. I think you're going to see some competitive drivers out here. You're going to see some competitive racing. One thing's for sure, we're probably going to see a new champion this year because we've got a lot of new names in the series. Isaac obviously is now up in the booth as the admin. So a lot of things will be changing here throughout this season. So look for a lot of new and should be a lot of fun here as we get going here. We're going to start the race in less than 2 minutes. But before we do so, I want to definitely tell you about a sponsor for the series here. And that, of course, being Mr. Radiator Sales and Services. If I can hit the right button, I will get that in view. There it is. I know it's there, but don't mind me. This is what happens when I try to get things fixed on the air. Anyways, Mr. Radiator Services, Sales and Services, serving the North American automotive and heavy truck industry with cooling system solutions since 1977. They sell ready-to-ship radiators, intercoolers, and AC condensers anywhere in North America. Mr. Radiator's Alexandria, Ontario, Canada location also offers in-house full-service department, radiator recores, rebuilding and of intercooler repairs, and restoration of fuel tanks are only a few of the services they offer. If you'd like a quote, you can contact Joey. That's Ladasor, by the way, at 613-525-3752, or check them out, mrradiator.ca. Proud supporter of the American Open Wheel Racing Series. You'll see those on the XSR cars this season, as they have Mr. Radiator as one of a couple sponsors on that car this season. All right, let's get the show on the road, shall we? Let's hit the old play button here, and let's check out the starting lineup here from Detroit as we're going to fly through the lineup here really quickly because the green flags will come out really quick. Nate Hayden making his debut tonight. He'll start next to Stephen Larkamp, Gavin Sanders, Andrew Marquez, Robert Sadler, Sam Blackwood, Jim Herrick, Dylan Gonis, Luke Daniels, Danny Brennan. Your top 5, Matt Telder, Sam Fontaine, row 6. I'll turn the audio on here in a second. And Dan Marrera, Tristan Ladisor, that's Joey, there in the front row. As I mentioned, 45 laps to get this season started here on the streets of Belle Isle of Detroit. Here we go, the American Open Wheel Racing Series Green. Up the straightaway down to turn 3, a 90-degree right-hander here. First gear likely as Hayden hops that curve. Got to be very careful. Oh, Robert Sadler with issues. He has spun it. And it looks like it's broken the left front of that car, unfortunately, for Sadler. See what happens. He goes over the hill. Oh, he locks up the left front and just gets in there too deep, and unfortunately the cold tires and does not make the corner. Now, unless something major happens, you will not see cautions likely. And as I say that, we do have a caution coming out, I believe. Sadler is towed to the pits, and we do have caution on the track. This could play an interesting strategy in these cars. 100% fuel in this series, except for on the ovals, which will drop to 85. One thing Isaac is trying to do is kind of simulate a little bit of real-life IndyCar Series racing. And just from my guessing here, the caution is probably for the debris that came off of the 6 car there in turn 3. So as I mentioned, we got multiple teams of racing here in the series this season. Of course, the big team now, I guess we could say, in the series is, of course, the Kamagoye team. Ran by Gary Gott, so he's actually got 2 different teams in the series this season. If you really want to kind of call it a Team A and Team B, you could do that. I know with these drivers and stuff, I try to be as real as possible. So, I mean, I feel like everybody is equal in this. So I like to say it's not really like a Red Bull Toro Rosso type of thing. I think it's more of just, hey, it's just 2 teams that are a part of the series. Let's see, other teams we got. Obviously, XSR, Dylan Gonis, Sam Fontaine, Matt Telder, Joey Ladisor there. Also going to have Curran Beckler part of that team. Also, the 5150 team, Marrera, Baldwin, Luke Daniels, Gavin Sanders, and as I mentioned, the Kamagoye team of Kite Bommersbach, who's not here tonight, Sam Blackwood, Stephen Larkamp, George Whitehouse. Addict Racing, that is Carlos Gomez. You got AOWRS, that has Andrew Marquez and Nate Hayden. And then, of course, the LMC Gear team with Jim Herrick. Those are the rosters for the season, and hopefully we'll get those memorized by the end when it's all said and done. So our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams 4 Gourmet. You can check them out online at trackcams22.com. What you're seeing tonight, the cameras of what you would normally watch on a IndyCar broadcast on like NBC or NBCSN. And those are pretty much the cameras you're going to see tonight here on the track. So the closest thing to the real life, including onboard cameras, so much more. right, pit road is open. Let's see if anybody comes in tops off the fuel, because we're looking at about 23 laps on a tank. And a couple cars diving in late. Telder, Fontaine. This kind of opens up the strategy a little bit. I think it's just a simple top off of the fuel. I want to shout out to Luke Daniels here in the 8th position. Luke, the 98 car, the guy that was able to get me both the races that were ran. And that's where you're going to be able to see these broadcasts done. Thanks to Luke for shooting me the videos. And by the way, you can delete them now, Luke. He was running out of space on his Google Drive. Gives me an opportunity to actually message him right now. So you got to get the tires all kept up to temp here around this very bumpy Belle Isle track. You got to run both tires in this, which is the alternate red tires, the red sidewalls, which you're seeing on like the 24 car here up front. You've seen the red sidewalls there. And then, of course, you have, there's Gavin Sanders, who has the black sidewall tires. Into the fountain section here, which has kind of turned into a traditional deal for IndyCar. Now the winner goes and celebrates in Victory Lane, which is over in that area, and actually goes and takes a dive into the fountain. So it'll be a single file restart. We'll get the green flag as usual here. Hayden pretty close up to the pace car here. It's going to hang a right, and we should be able to go. As we'll go green here at the completion of lap number 3. There'll be 42 laps to go, which for some of those might split this into two 21 lap runs, which could easily make this a one-stop race now. Here we go. Back here, Sam Blackwood, pretty good run up on Dylan Godis there in the 27, not able to make the run as they get back single file line here. As again, they try to get these tires up the temp now. Blackwood there on the prime black sidewall tires. All about rhythm. When you're on a street circuit like this, you make one bad move, especially with the bumpiness of it. Through the fountain section they go. And a series of right-hand corners right here. Moves it back to the front straightaway. These corners here can be very misleading. I was out here running laps myself before we ran this race, and if you're not used to running a street circuit, which, I mean, outside of Long Beach, I'm really not, be very tricky. Oh, Jim Herrick with some issues. Looks like he might have spun it out, but kept it going. I don't see any damage on the 40 car. Jim Herrick, who's been a long supporter of this series from the TI side and now the American Open Wheel side. Dan Marrero with some issues. He's got a broken left front. And Dirty Dan going to take her behind the wall, unfortunately. And we stay green. It's Andrew Marquez, first-time driver here. Good battle back here. Sam Blackwood looking low inside of Godis. Turn 3, perfect place to pass. And does so. Push to pass activated now. These guys are able to use the button, as they call it, to make passes. Basically, you have 10 attempts for about 20 seconds to use them. Already you see 3 cars on pit road with damage. That's Morera, Sadler now. Danny Brennan's on pit road and Jim Herrick. So a lot of cars having issues early in this race. You see them all right here. Let's see what happened to Brennan. That's one wreck we didn't see what happened. Brennan running the Nissan paint scheme, and he's already got a broken left front there, so I'm not sure. And that car's not going to turn. That's not going to help things. And that's not going to help things either. There's the Blackwood pass once again. So one thing about the replays when I do this, when I show a replay, I have to pick up right where the replay left off. So some of these things you're going to see again when I do that. So that's why, especially when I do these replays like this, I got to try to do the replay really quickly, or else it'll back up a few seconds or so to show the whole thing. But Nate Hayden's pulled away 2.5 seconds right now on Larkamp, Gavin Sanders, and Marquez, your top 4. Gavin, that 10 car, the VOR car. As he's trying to hold off Marquez there for the 4th position. So Andrew put a lot of pressure on these new guys here, this new team that has come into this series. I call them a new team because it's one of the rare ones that I have not seen here, the SCOWRS team. Looking pretty solid right now, running 1st and 4th. Hayden there with a purple lap, 1:16.3 just now. This is easily becoming a great battle right here now, starting to shape up third, fourth, fifth position. Also got a battle back here for the sixth spot we'll keep an eye on with Gonis and Luke Daniels. Marquez in that red, white, and blue checkered machine. See already 8 laps in the books. Going to be interesting to see how the pit strategy is going to work in this race, because as I mentioned with that caution, basically it's become a 41 lap race, so to say. So it's going to lead us to a one-stop race now. And that one stop is pretty much going to be straight ahead, 21 laps, which you can do maybe a lap of fuel save, but otherwise you should be able to go full blast and get that one stop in at 21 laps. Especially if you're, Telder and Ladasor, those guys who came to pit road at that caution and just kind of topped off the fuel cell, those guys should have no problem going the rest of the way on fuel. These guys running pretty consistent times on top of another here. 94 and 95 right behind Sanders. Meanwhile, Nate Hayden's out there just dropping lap after laps of the purple. 1:16.1 that last time by for him. That's why he's down to a 5-second lead. He's a pretty talented driver there in that 24. I don't know much about him, but I'm guessing with the last name of Hayden, you're going to be a pretty good driver, right? I think a Nicky Hayden. Joe Petrick, everybody. One thing's for certain, Joe, these things don't have fenders. These guys all sitting about now 11 to 12 seconds back. Markamp out there on an island in his own pretty much, and so is Hayden up front. This is easily becoming the best battle here. 88 kind of lost some momentum there. Blackwood started to put some pressure on the 74 car. Definitely a very talented driver behind that car. On board with Sammy. You gotta be very careful not to hit that wall. Jump inside the helmet. Ooh, 88 got a little wide there. Sam able to get some momentum, not able to take advantage of it though. come back to this battle here in a second. Let's check back here. Luke Daniels in the 7th position right now. He was right behind Dylan Gonis, but Dylan has pulled away now to about a 2-second advantage right behind him. There's Tedler, as we like to call him, or Telder. Matt there in the 14 car, running up in the 8th position right now. Sam Fontaine, the Canadian driver. 9th position right there. And speaking of Canadian drivers, his fellow brethren, who actually is running one of the new paint schemes. The Wilder Graphics Mr. Radiator paint. And that there is the Mr. Radiator himself, Joey Ladasor, in the 10th position right now in that 23 car. And back to the 3 that have just been fighting this out. Imagine how tough it is driving these cars around here, not making a mistake, especially when you have somebody within a second. It's hard enough in a stock car on an oval, or even in an Indy car on an oval, or any kind of car on any kind of track. When you got somebody within a second, you're looking up in the mirror, and it's so easy to miss a corner or just lose focus for a split second. When you look at this track, there's only roughly 2 or 3 places to make passes at. One of them's right here coming up into the fountain. You get on push to pass, you can potentially gain some momentum up into this corner here, but not be close enough to be able to take advantage of it. Plus, you got to save your push to passes, only have 10 allowed in each race. You can get a good enough run there, you might be able to make a move in turn 1, but your biggest chance of making a pass is right here over the sweeping turn 2 corner up this long straightaway to that 90-degree turn 3. But again, I don't see really any cars close enough to make that move right now. And Matt Telder's on pit road in this 14 on lap 14. So this might be a 2-stop strategy potentially for the 14. A whole lot of 14s involved here. See, tires go on. Let's see if they swap to the reds. There they go. Otherwise, it's going to kind of sit there for a second. Long stop. 14.1. Must have been some damage on that car. He's got a lot of Ladasor going to go by him there, so. We'll have to see how much of a strategy move that takes. You know, Telder did lose some 7 or 8 seconds there on pit road with that stop. There's your leader, though, Nate Hayden. One thing is for certain, we did realize after about 10 to 15 laps, the tires did start to equal out with the reds compared to the black prime sidewalls. So about this point, you're going to see maybe tire fall off happening, and those who might be on the black sidewall tires, you might start to see catch up a little bit. You see the 24 getting a little jukey there. Meanwhile, Sam's starting to really put pressure on Marquez here. Of course, a lot of talks going on now that this track might actually not be around on the IndyCar circuit, not this coming year, but next year. They're talking about actually moving this race to downtown Detroit. Of course, this racetrack actually is an island that separates Canada from Detroit. That's why you might notice there's like a lot of water around. So outside the first couple incidents on track, we've been pretty clean now. I want to go back here real quickly. Telder. This was at lap 14. Oh, there's why he came to pit road. A little lazy spin off the corner. Why he had to come to pit road. I'm actually gonna, I think it was 3 laps, yeah. Pick up from where we left off. Power of broadcasting on delay. I can just hit a button and fix it. My expectations here is to see everyone on pit road probably at lap 24. If they can get to 24 with the fuel saving stuff, 23 or 24, that should get them to the finish of this race. So we do got 10 cars into the 14 that started this race on the lead lap. 1 car behind the wall, and that is Dan Morera. Unfortunately caught that wall hard over turn 3, or turn 2 I should say, as Sam is trying everything right now to get around this 88. You can hear the wheel spin a little bit. Now, Sam is on the prime tires, I believe. I've seen that right. Looks. Trying to see if I see black sidewall tires. I believe that's what he's on. Fortunately, telemetry is not telling me what tires they're on over here to my right, so I'm kind of going off of what I'm seeing here. And yes, those are the black sidewall tires. So that's where Sam is getting this advantage now, because the reds have fallen off. But Sam's unable to take advantage. He's trying to. If he can stay to his gearbox here, he might get him in turn 1. Nope, not going to be close enough, though. This is one of those situations where Sam might actually try to do the undercut here, and you might see him on pit road next maybe 2 or 3 laps. And if he does that, he'll do it to try to jump both Marquez and Sanders. Oh, there's a lockup from the 88. Sam not close enough. I don't think Fontaine has had issues. He's still going here in the 8th position. Don't see any damage on the car. .25 laps to go next time by. There's been the guy that has dominated this race so far, Nate Hayden. Out to 8.3 second lead right now. He just put a lap on Joey Ladiseur in the 10th position at 23 car. There's Stephen Larkamp, part of the Kamagoye team. Sam's yelling at me for calling him Tristan. Trust me, my brother, it is Joey. Tristan's his son. Yeah, I gotta edit it. Oh, somebody's parked it over here. It's Telder. He destroyed the front side of his car over here in coming out of the fountain section, or actually before the fountain section. He's over here on the straightaway right now. Front end of that car is destroyed. Hometown track for him. See what happened to Telder. Telder, unfortunately, this week has had some really big personal issues come up, and definitely thinking about him and his family. Oh boy, goes straight on to turn 3, right where Sadler had his issues on lap 1. I mentioned Larkamp there in that 62 car. And apparently Telder didn't realize that he had no front end and went straight over there in that corner too. And hopefully we'll be able to get the round number 2 in this week. Also got round 7 of the TI Truck Series broadcast to do this week. So hopefully things will start opening up a little bit on the captain's end here from work, and be able to get home at a good time each week or each day, and be able to sit here and do a broadcast or two and get caught up and get back to our regularly scheduled stuff. Which, by the way, is going to include a big announcement coming in about a week or so. This is third, fourth, and fifth here as they continue to battle. Oh, Joey. Joey Petrick over there. My man. Guy I've known since I started on iracing pretty much. Pretty big. Something that I've not done before on here. You just netcode the wall? That's what it sounded like. All right, so the pit window should be opening here the next lap or two as Hayden on turn 2 here. We're going to ride with him for a lap. I was going to ride with him, but never mind. The camera decided otherwise. I don't want to be the guy that picks on Telder, but, well, he towed the pit road, but he just crashed again. Alright, so if you're new to watching the stream, down at the bottom you will see when any car enters the pits, you will see that little ticker button come up, and you'll see those cars on pit road as finally a pass for position. But you know what, this time it's because Marquez is on pit road, and he brings Dylan Gonis with him. You see the time down at the bottom. The left-hand time is actually the amount of time on pit road these cars have spent delta-wise. The red, where it says pit, that is simply how long of a pit stop they had in their box. So 4 tires in fuel. Marquez is going to pull away. Let's see what Gonis does here. He's doing 4 in fuel also. He pulls away. So what you're going to see is these cars flip tires, basically. Whatever they ran in the last run, they'll flip to the either prime or alternate tire from here. As Gonis comes out right in front of his teammate Fontaine there. All right, here comes the leader to pit road. You were? We actually did that here on iRacing too. I remember that. I even tried a blind race for myself at Charlotte because I was dumb enough to say I could race this track blind. It. There we go. Tires and fuel, and Hayden pulls away and gets out of pit road real quickly. He's Larkamp. We did go bowling. I remember that. Luke Daniels on pit road. This is the pit stop I'm waiting on. Pit crew, go to work. Good stop for the 98. Best part about having a replay stream, you go back and watch the pit stop. Luke on pit road on and off 9.1 seconds, so good stop for him. As Fontaine has got a beat up car now. Something happened to the French Canadian. Gru has destroyed the car. And now Steven Larkamp coming to pit road in the 62 car. Gavin Sanders is going to take the lead now. So all these cars here are obviously going to make it now to the rest of the way on tires and fuel here. It's just a matter of when you want to pit now for strategy. Now I mentioned earlier that Marquez had come to pit road, so that allowed Sam to stay out. And what Sam's doing on these prime tires right now is trying to get the best out of him he can, because he might be able to do now the overcut to Marquez. And if he's able to pull that off, that would be because he was able to get on pit road, run some faster laps right here, and outrun that 88 car, which sits back in the 5th position right now. He's right here in 2nd right now. Blackwood is behind Gavin Sanders, about 2.5 seconds back. And these are the only 2 left to pit so far, are the top 2. And I think Dylan Gonis had some issues as the leader. And here comes 2nd Blackwood to pit road. But I believe Dylan Gonis has had issues now. So unfortunate issues for the other Canadian driver as part of the XSR team. All right, so let's keep an eye on where Marquez comes around here as he's coming to the front straightaway right now. Sanders out of pit road. They're going to definitely jump him. That right there is how you do the overcut on Sam Blackwood's end. That's Marquez back behind him. So nice job by the 74 to make that pass. Another interesting situation that's come up here is the 10 and 74 have been running such good laps. Look at here, as they are only about 1.5 seconds behind the 62 of Larkamp. Larkamp had kind of pulled away to about a 8-second or so lead over 3rd place, and that has been chopped down to about 1 second or so. Sam Blackwood's playing chess. Yeah, we don't do. Ain't nobody got time for chess unless you're what's his name? What was that? Joey, help me out. Joe's over on Twitch, by the way, watching. That's why you're not able to see his chat. What was that damn chess player's name back in the day? They had that movie about him gone missing. Oh my! Searching for Bobby Fischer. There we go, boys. Let's talk chess players. Very underrated film, by the way. Sanders getting up here on Larkamp. I wonder if Steven's got some damage or something, or is these primes just that much slower right now? Oh, Larkamp goes wide at the fountain. That's really going to hurt him. Sanders looking, gets chopped. Pretty sure that kept Larkamp awake right there after that. And now Sanders kind of held back here behind him. Question is, can he get the run on him? Sanders is there. Larkamp's going to protect the inside line. Oh, I thought he was. Now he is. See if an over-under comes right here. Oh, almost some contact. Yeah, this ain't really the place to pass now, so Sanders got to be a little patient. his best bet down, probably going to be the front straightaway. The defensive line there from Larkamp. Gavin, a really good road racer. I had to compliment one thing about this Kamagoye/5150 team this season is they have got a lot of talented drivers on that roster as Larkamp slides wide. Gavin Sanders being one of them. Gavin has gone out in the another league that's very similar to this one as Larkamp pushes wide, a little lock up there. A series called Velocity Online Racing you see here on Saturday nights on the Captain Esports Network. He has won 2 races over there this past season, including on a road course. So this dude knows how to drive cars. He's an actual racer in real life. Oh, he's got to run here. Going to the Mango High side here. And he got him. Sanders with the pass. And now Blackwood's turn. By the way, all 3 of these kind of quasi-teammates, so to say, too. And look at that. You see how quick? Whoa, a little defensive move there, but Blackwood gets outside of him. He lets him go. Nice move by Blackwood to third. All this about 16 seconds now behind Nate Hayden. And again, the second race on the schedule here for the American Open League Open Wheel Racing Series, is going to be at Auto Club Speedway. That race was ran this past Thursday night. We'll have that one hopefully this week. I would like to do it the next day or two. Won't be tonight because I actually have a live broadcast coming up here at 9 o'clock Eastern for the Sim 500 Super Speedway King Series. They are going to run the car of tomorrow at Talladega. Now, I'm pretty sure that's going to be an unrestricted plate setup. So we're going to be seeing, I think, stock cars going 240 miles an hour around Talladega here in a few minutes. So hold on. Robert Sadler, who's on the track and is some 3 laps down. No, he's 1 lap down, actually. I'm sorry. Got it all wrong, but actually until just now, it ran the fastest lap of the race as he did it last lap, but then Gavin Sanders just came in there and swiped the old purple lap, as we call it, a 16:53. So Sanders, now that he's finally gotten some clean air, he hadn't had it all night. He'll start laying them down. But Robert Sadler, who was the first caution, this is actually going to be a battle for 7th right here, as he comes up on the back of Lanosaur. Sadler not able to make the move quite yet, but he's trying everything he can here. Joey, or Tristan, as some will call him right now, so I can get his name fixed on the thing, which actually I can probably do it right now, is pretty new at this IndyCar thing. This is something, I mean, he's been on iRacing for a short time, but he is one that if you put him in a car, he'll go out and drive it. You put him in a dirt car, he's talented. He drives a 358 modified in real life on dirt, and up in Canada and some northern parts of America. But, you know, he's one that's jumped into an Indy car here in the last couple of seasons of not only this series, but a series I help run called the Captain Open Wheel Series. And he's gone out there and he has gotten tremendously better each and every time. And I think the main reason he does so is he gets out here and runs every lap. Because the only way you're going to get better driving a car is when you practice and you run every lap of a race. Right now he's a lap down, but you know what? He's going to likely get a top 10 finish. He's going to learn a lot and be able to take it to the Auto Club race coming up here next week, and then, of course, the Gateway in 2 weeks. Now, one thing I do want to share is Gavin Sanders, who's up in the second position right now, he actually has caught some time off of Nate Hayden. It is down to 13 seconds. Make that 14 seconds between he and Hayden. That lead was up to, what, 17 at one point? 18 seconds? Problem is there's 10 laps to go, and, well, you do the math. He's got to make up 1.7 seconds every lap. So unless Hayden's running like maybe fuel mixture 8, or he's hit the wall or something, it ain't happening. But anything's possible, of course, in racing. There's Hayden right there. Obviously going to lead the most laps tonight. And likely, unless something weird happens here, going to be on his way to potentially the first team win for this AOWRS team. As he'll cross the line, 9 laps to go. There's Gavin right there, second position. Gavin, as I mentioned, 13 seconds back right now in that 10 car as he's driving the wheels off of it, literally. He tries to get away from Blackwood, who sits right back there in third. And back here, Sadler has gone by Joey or Tristan. Check out the left side here. Gonna hit the OK button. Under his name there. Bada bing! Joey Ladisor. Power of technology. There's Sam Blackwood running into third position. As I mentioned, Sam, multi-time winner here in this series, running the Apex Sage coaching machine, which of course, by the way, is ran by Isaac Morris, who runs this series. And speaking of sponsorships and stuff, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Radiator, of course, ran here by Joey Ladisor. Mr. Radiator Sales and Services, of course, a company that Joey's put a lot of work behind and stuff. So get a chance to it if you're up there in the Canada issues and stuff. Canada issues, what? In the Canada area and have issues. Basically, make sure you check out Mr. Radiator, serving the North American automotive and heavy truck industry. With cooling system solutions since 1977, they sell ready-to-ship radiators, intercoolers, and AC condensers anywhere in North America. Mr. Radiator's Alexandria, Ontario, Canada location also offers in-house full-service department, radiator recores, rebuilding of intercoolers, repair and restoration of fuel tanks, and only a few of their services offered. If you need a quick quote, call Joey 613-525-3752 or check out MrRadiator.ca. Of course, Mr. Radiator, a proud supporter of the American Open Wheel Racing Series, and you will see as I hit this button right here, they're also on the tailgate of all of the, or tailgate, oh my gosh, there's the stock car in me. The wing of the XRS cars this season. The other three didn't get loaded up in time for the broadcast here, but you'll see all the XSR cars in multiple colors that are done by Wilder Graphics. And there's Mr. Radiator, of course, on the car right there. I cannot believe I just said spoiler. Like, I've got it written down on my paper over here. Like, when I'm doing a truck race, I say tailgate. A stock car race, spoiler. This would be the one car I would not call a spoiler. Or tailgate. Or bumper. Or whatever. My buddy Rich was watching. He'd be like, dude, there ain't no fenders on these things. Stephen Larkamp back into fourth position. Definitely have an issue on these prime tires as he lost second and third, and not only that's fallen almost 9 seconds back now of Gavin Sanders. At one point had about a 10-second lead on Gavin up there in the second position, but I'm sure Stephen's going to be very disappointed in the performance of these prime tires. Andrew Marquez, his debut tonight here in this series. Andrew is running up in the third spot himself. I'm sorry, fourth, and Blackwood was able to jump him there on the pit stop. But Andrew's still looking at a top 5 finish unless something goes wrong here. Luke Daniels, who is another one of those drivers that has improved tremendously. He actually started with the XSR team, and he's still a good friend of all of ours. And I tell you, with him, he went over to the 5150 team after we decided not to run an XRS team or XSR team last season, and he obviously stayed with the team as he has his loyalties with Gary, which is totally cool. And I tell you what, last season I watched a very improved Luke Daniels out on the track here in the TI season number 5, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in the future. And a shout out to him for giving me the replays, by the way, of these races. Robert Sadler, who just made the pass, unfortunately is just unlapped himself from Luke. Likely going to finish in the 7th position here. Robert, good comeback after going one-on-one with the turn 3 tire barrier on lap 1. And the before mentioned Joey Ladasor, 8th position for him. Joey just out there logging laps, keeping the car clean. And at number 23 tonight, Dylan Gonis, who had some issues early in this race in the 27 car. Dylan is 3 laps behind. In 9th, Sam Fontaine, teammate right there behind him, running in the 10th position, 4 laps down. I don't lose my voice often, but thanks for the warning. Matt Telder, I'm sure the guys at work would love that, by the way. The 14 car running in the 10th or 11th position. He's had some arguments with the walls around here tonight. And so has the 25 of Danny Brennan. And the rest of the cars off the track with Jim Herrick and Dan Marrera. So 4 laps to go for Nate Hayden. First start, looking to go to victory lane. Up to a 11-second lead now, as Sanders has continuously ran faster laps. So, of course, for Gavin, this might be becoming the race of what could have been. Now, I don't know what else to throw this out to, but unless some kind of F1 deal happens, I would think this is Hayden's win. Gavin Sanders here about 2 seconds ahead of Blackwood. Blackwood trying to do everything he can here, but I'm sure these alternate red sidewall tires have kind of fallen off a little bit. Of course, see all the rubber laid down on the track now, so I'm sure it's getting a little greasy out there. If there is a positive, it's the fact that the weather is, well, all the same during this race. They kept it at a standard default weather instead of letting it go with time. Now, there's definitely a net coat thing going on with that outside wall there going into the fountain. I've noticed a couple times, I've heard that noise of like a car hitting that wall. And then again, I'm getting older, so I could be hallucinating. Two laps to go. And right on cue, Blackwood hits the spoiler on us and does run a 16:05 with the Red Bull lap, as I like to call it. And if you're a fan of super speedway racing, I request and suggest you stick around about 30 minutes or so. About 8:45, we'll be on with the Super Speedway King Series, the all Super Speedway Series. They've run Talladega, Daytona, Talladega, and iRacing Super Speedway. They're back at Talladega tonight in the COT car, which should be interesting. White flag, final lap from Belle Isle, though. Unfortunately, I apologize for everyone for not being able to do this race live. I hate it, and it seems to be a tradition in this league where I always miss the first race. I don't know why, but this season I had to miss the first two with work and stuff getting in the way. But I appreciate Isaac and all those guys for working with me, because it has been, pardon my English, quite hell the first 2 weeks of what we call peak season right now. Unfortunately, due to COVID and stuff in our building, and it has not been the funnest 2 weeks, we'll just say. But you know what? I'm keeping my head up and still able to have time to get out here and make these broadcasts happen tonight. So appreciate the viewers coming in here to watch. But tonight we have seen a dominant performance from Nate Hayden in the 24 car, a brand new team coming into the American Open Wheel Racing Series season. SCOWRS. I don't know what it stands for, but I can tell they're going to be somebody to compete with this season as they come through the final two corners. And welcome to victory lane to Nate Hayden, kicking off the American Open Wheel Racing Series with a win at Belle Isle. Gavin Sanders going to come by for second. Blackwood third. And Stephen Larkamp going to be probably pretty mad about that fourth place finish if I know him. Here comes the teammate to the winner, Hayden. Marquez going to finish fifth. Luke Daniels. Oh, car back there out of shape. I think that was a purple car, so it might have been Telder. Or if he getting out of the way. Could have been that too. And Luke Daniels going to cross the line. That's all that matters, man. It's about keeping it out of that wall. So Hayden parking it over here at the end of turn 2. I wonder if he's out of fuel. Oh, the engine's running. I know what he's doing. He's making sure every car crosses the start-finish line, because by doing that, he can do burnouts right here. Ready? Fontaine's going to cross the line, which should be the last car. Everybody's crossed the line. All right, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is out of fuel. I don't know. Of course, as soon as I put the finishing order up, he's going to do burnouts. Ready? Here it comes. Finishing order for tonight. Hayden wins it. Sanders, Blackwood, Larkamp, and Marquez. Your top 5. He's playing mind games with me, and we're not even live. Luke Daniels, 6th. Robert Sadler, Ladisor, 8th. Dylan Gonis, Sam Fontaine, your top 10. Telder finishing 11th. Danny Brennan, Jim Herrick, Dammer, and Isaac Morris, who did not run the race, by the way. Isaac is officially retired from the series. All right. So good start here. Let's, he just leaves. Interesting. All right. So we'll come back. That's your finishing order for tonight's race. So appreciate everybody joining us again this evening on the streets of Belle Isle. There you see the fountain over there, and there's the city of Detroit right there in the background. Chevrolet building to the left there. But we're off. Appreciate everybody joining us this evening. One race down. We'll get the other broadcast hopefully this week from Auto Club Speedway out in California. Right now we're going to get ready for the COT race over in Talladega in just a few moments. So we appreciate, again, everyone coming over and joining us for this broadcast of the American Open Wheel Racing Series. So thanks to Isaac Morris and, of course, Luke Daniels for the race itself and more. I just realized Mr. Rader got a lot of promotion time at the end there. Oops. You're welcome, Joey. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. But as always, appreciate all of you for, for allowing us to be a part of the race here at Detroit. So always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!